All right, here's our last page on inferences. That's making some good educated guesses to fill in answers. It says, can you tell? Read the story, then write a sentence that answers each question. Here's the questions. Now, they haven't given us any answers to copy, so we're going to have to come up with the answers on our own this time. All right, let's read the story first. Dave read his list. Practice spelling. Feed Charlie. He put food in Charlie's dish on the floor. Here, Charlie. Next, Dave sat down and opened his spelling book. Then he drew. He scribbled. He doodled. Hard spelling words? Mum said with a smile. Want help? Dave nodded yes. First question says, why did Dave draw, scribble, and doodle? Why do you think he did that? Maybe Mum's question helps us there. Hard spelling words, Mum said. I think Dave drew and scribbled and doodled because the spelling words were hard. They were difficult. He was having a hard time doing it. Maybe you'll come up with a different answer. Now, it says, how can you tell Charlie is an animal? Well, let's see. Dave is the person reading the list. It says, feed Charlie. He put food in Charlie's dish on the floor. Here, Charlie, he calls out. So I'm going to guess that Charlie is probably a dog. It doesn't say it is. It could be a cat or something else, but I think we know that Charlie's an animal because Dave put food in Charlie's dish. So we could say he, meaning Charlie. Charlie's a boy's name, usually. He eats from a dish on the floor. That's the sort of thing an animal would do. Notice I start with a capital and end with a period. Finger spaces between the words and small letters everywhere except the beginning. All right, number 3 says, how do you know Dave's mother wasn't angry? This word tells me right here. Smile. And want help? I think she wasn't angry because she, that would be Dave's mother, smiled. Number 4, how did Mother know Dave's words were hard? How did the mother know to ask, are those words hard? Do you need help? How do you think she knew that? I think it tells us sort of in this part here. Dave sat down, opened his spelling book, then he drew, he scribbled, he doodled. I think it's because Dave was drawing, scribbling, doodling. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit doodle in here. There we go. Number 5, how can you tell Dave really wanted to learn his words? Well, about at the end when the mom asks, want help? What does Dave do? Dave nodded yes. He's saying yes, he does want help. I don't think he'd not want to learn his words if he didn't want help, right? If he wants help, he wants to learn. How can you tell Dave really wanted to learn his words? He nodded yes for help. Right? When his mom asked him, he nodded yes for help. So that was a little harder because we had to come up with our own answers instead of just answers to copy from boxes or the bottom of the page. And you might have some different answers from me, but you have to answer those 5 questions based off of what you've read. So you're making an inference, an educated guess. That's inferences. At the bottom it says brain work. Write how Dave and his mother practiced his words. You could do that writing on the back of this page or another piece of paper.